said in the past that you think the United States is the most powerful country that's ever existed. So obviously you cannot achieve this without having great leaders throughout your history. So my question is, in each century, the 21st, the 20th, and 19th century, which U.S. president do you think was the best of that century, and why, considering accomplishment and legacy?
Okay, that's a great question. I haven't had this one before. Good. So let's start with the 19th century. I think the greatest American president of the 19th century was most likely Abraham Lincoln. And why is that? He fought to keep the country unified. I think the South seceded legally from the United States, okay, from the Union. It was not an illegal secession. It was according to the Constitution and the laws. But Abraham Lincoln said, nothing doing. I'm not going to let this happen. And he went to war to ensure that the Union survives intact and as a whole. So I think 19th century, Abraham Lincoln was the greatest. The 20th century, who was the greatest? Who was the guy at the end of the Second World War? It was Teddy Roosevelt, wasn't it? It
Franklin
was Franklin Roosevelt. I think he is the guy who was the greatest of the 20th century. And why is that? It's he who set up the global empire, the seeds and the roots of the global empire. It is he who ensured that the United States did not withdraw from Japan and other parts of the world that they had, you could say, created military bases. They stayed there, and then he expanded this, and this was carried forward by subsequent US presidents by signing all these so-called treaties, which are essentially all kinds of alliance treaties with nations like Japan, with South Korea, even Pakistan, which essentially vassalized all these nations and made them client states of the US. That is something that tremendously contributed to American power in the 20th century. So I would say Franklin Roosevelt was the architect of that. 21st century, I haven't seen any great US president thus far. So I don't know. We'll see. Maybe Trump is the guy. We'll see about that.
All right.
All
Thank
right.
you for answering, sir.
Thank you
From
so much.
DC.